Help, I'm pushing up,
Rotate.
No, they're rotating back. They're rotating back.
You're gonna go, just rotate, guys. Just rotate. Give it up. Just give it up. Right. Nice. Rotate.
Greetings and welcome to episode number 11 of The Rotation with Z-Hack. Stage 3 is already here, baby, and I'm locked and loaded, ready to go and talk about some more Call of Duty. It snuck up on me. I'm not gonna lie, we had the Stage 2 major, we got our week vacation, and then we just hit the ground running out of nowhere. The Call of Duty League is back. We have stuff to talk about, and a lot of it, let me tell you. So thanks so much, everyone, tuning in. Make sure, as always, you like, subscribe, share, comment on everything: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. It's The Rotation with Z-Hack. And tweet me your thoughts on your own takes, my takes, topics you have for me at ZHack16. It's ZHACK16. And like I said, all hell has broken loose in the Call of Duty League, and we got to get straight into some first blood, and I'm talking about it. The wildest storyline that happened and broke last night is that the Dallas Empire benched Huke. What the hell are you doing? That's the first thought that popped into my head, and I'm going to pull it up on the screen for you right now, and we're going to break this down and look at the official statement from the Dallas Empire and what they said. So this dropped last night after the matches, and they won. It says, Fellow will be in the starting lineup Sunday against Toronto as we move Huke to a reserve role. The team has felt we are playing below our potential, and with Fellow playing so well in challengers, he's earned a shot to compete in the starting lineup. I don't disagree that Fellow has been playing well. But Huke? My man Kyler? What? In my opinion, this has to be something way out of left field. It can't be performance-based. When you look at Huke, he has a 1.05 KD, which is 11th overall in the Call of Duty League. The top 11 players, he is one of them. Him and Shotzi for the Dallas Empire, for me, were arguably the two players that teams had to game plan around to shut down in order to have success in a matchup against the Dallas Empire. Yes, I agree with what's said that they have not been performing to their maximum potential. In the majors, they've gotten smoked by FaZe, they've gotten knocked out, they were beat by Ultra in the last one, and the Dallas Empire are better than that. They're defending world champions. They are the inaugural champion of the Call of Duty League. But this kid is special. If I am any other owner of a team, owner of a franchise in the Call of Duty League, boop, 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 boop. Yo, Hastro, what do you need for me to buy out Huke's contract and get him on my team? Because he is one of the best players, best talents, and best Call of Duty minds in the league. Best teammate, all the intangibles. What do you need from me to buy his contract out and get him on my roster? Huke is an incredible slayer. He can change the map. He makes big plays, and he's selfless. He will give himself up. He will dissect every single part of the other team, and he will take, quote-unquote, a pay cut or a kill cut in a map. He'll say, listen, I'm not frying right now. You guys do it. I'm going to hop into more of a support role. So many guys in the Call of Duty League have an ego and would not do that, and that's why they lose. Huke is one of those guys who would make those sacrifices. There has to be something behind closed doors, in my opinion, and that's the reasoning why Huke has gotten benched or moved to the reserve role. He is third in hardpoint kills per 10 minute, and he's 6th overall in hardpoint KD. A talent like that doesn't just get benched. He's flustering right around a 1 KD in control and S&D, a .97 and a .99. But as we always talk about on The Rotation with Z-Hack here, it's not about the KD all the time. That's not all that's important in Call of Duty. There's so many of the intangibles that Huke carries, in my opinion. And I think there's just something crazy that we aren't seeing within the Dallas Empire Envy organization that's going on. No discredit to Fellow, because he's been popping off in the challenger scene. He's a veteran. He's been on the main stage. He's won before. And now that I just say that, I'm thinking in real time here. Like, I'm not scripting any of this. Now that I say that, Could it be a move from the Dallas Empire with LAN lurking and around the corner that they're like, maybe Fellows got it? But I don't think Huke doesn't, is the thing. The guy has the nickname Huke the Nuke. I mean, come on. He slays out, and it's just mind-boggling to me. I don't know what it is. I saw some stuff surface on Twitter where guys said that between the transition of 5v5 from Modern Warfare to 4v4 in Cold War, that they brought it up where Clayster posted on Reddit something along those lines, and he said Huke was willing to step away and go pursue a career in Valorant so those four could stick together. I mean, I don't know if... there's two sides of what people think. Some people are going to say, he doesn't have the drive. He doesn't want to play Call of Duty. He doesn't care. He doesn't have fun. He hates the game. And he won his championship. He's out. Other people, and in my opinion, I think, holy hell, I want that as my teammate. Willing to sacrifice everything, willing to sacrifice himself for others around him. That team was like a brotherhood, and he was willing to put himself out as a champion to keep those guys together. Now, I don't know if him saying something like that is having an impact on this, or if he wants to pursue something else, because it could be a personal decision where he says, yeah, COD isn't doing it for me anymore. I want to go pursue Valorant or something else. But it's just mind-boggling to me, and I do not know where this came from. And so many others throughout the Call of Duty League were shocked. You saw professionals, org owners, casters, personalities, people who just follow Call of Duty, who stream on Twitch and even play Warzone as their main staple, were like, what? Chad Johnson, a.k.a. Chad Ocho Cinco, responded to it and he said, what? Huke dropped? And I think we're all in the same boat there. In my opinion, he's one of the stellar players on the team, and he is what franchises should look to build a team around. I don't disagree that the Dallas Empire were underperforming, though, because they were. And I'll talk about the guts that they have to make this roster change and how I give kudos to them, but I'm just confused why Huke. Or if you even really needed to make one. Because they want to win. They didn't finish where they wanted to in the majors because they want to win. Hastro's talked about it. He said, this is a winning organization. That's our culture. We want to win. When you aren't winning and you're not having success, like they dominated in Modern Warfare, and we thought they were going to carry it here. They've shown weakness. They are not the best team in the league. They're losing, and they're losing to multiple opponents. It's not just Atlanta FaZe. It's Toronto Ultra 2. They're dropping maps that they shouldn't to Paris Legion in their first match of Stage 3. So there are little things, but I think that those little things are certain aspects of the game that can be fixed internally in practice, in scrims. You talk about it and you say, yo, we're doing this. This is a mistake we're making. Tighten up. That's my opinion, and I was shell-shocked when I heard the Dallas Empire roster change. It's as simple as that. Let me know what you guys think at Twitter, ZHack16, in the comments down below on YouTube. Do you think Huke should have been the one benched, if anyone, on the Dallas Empire? And the other question I have, put it on the poll, what the hell? With that being said, and that out of the way, let's hop into the Barracks news and notes from around the league. I love those transitions because they give me a time to catch my breath and get a sip of some water, coffee, whatever I'm drinking. And let me tell you, this AHA right here, the sparkling water, sheesh. The flavor is immaculate, first of all, and the carbonation is incredible. You guys all know me. I'm going on a rant real quick. I used to be a big guy. I used to weigh like 250 in high school. I'm 165, and I ran the New York Marathon now. Big part of my weight loss journey, I drank a lot of soda when I was a kid. Caused me to be huge. I didn't go to stuff like this back in the day, but if you're struggling now and you're trying to lose weight and you drink soda, get away from it and go to ha-ha. Aha! It's one hell of a replacement. All right, I'm done. Not a sponsor, not marketing. It's just, this is delicious, and I was thinking of it while the transition was rolling. So the Barracks, news and notes from around the league. I sound like a broken record. There are more roster changes Incoming! Just like I've said before, take a grenade, pull the pin, throw it, and when it explodes, it's just roster changes throughout the Call of Duty League. What is going on? Every single team except for Optic and Seattle have made changes, if I'm correct. Let me take a look at the team log here. Atlanta FaZe have not made a change either, so there's 3. So Atlanta have not made a change. Dallas just made one with Huke. Florida just made one with Havoc. London just made another one. Oh my God, those guys, do they have unlimited contracts over there? Because they've signed like 1 million guys this year. But London, they bring up Zaptius. LAG put Cheen in the lineup. The Thieves got Draza now. The Rocker with Standy. New York have Hydra now. Chicago haven't made a change. Paris just acquired Temp. Seattle haven't made one. And Toronto, we know the all-European roster that just won Stage 2. I'm going to say I love to see it. These teams are not messing around in the Call of Duty League. I talked about it early on in the league, in the season, in its infancies, like Stage 1. I said, look, there's only 12 teams. 4-man squads. Do the quick math. 12, 24, 36, 48 players in the league. And how many didn't make it? How many are in the challengers? How many former pros are waiting for their shot? If you're underperforming, the league is showing us how replaceable you are right now with how many roster changes have been made. I love to see it because teams are not content with top 5 in a major. They're not content with even coming in second place like the Dallas Empire did in the Stage 1 major. They're identifying problems, saying we aren't winning, we want to fix it, we're going to put together the best roster possible to give us a shot at winning. I love it. Granted, some of the moves are questionable. Some of the players being picked up, I think other guys could step into the roles. But nonetheless, these teams are hungry. They want to win. They got to pay those contracts. There's a lot of prize money on the line. There's bringing up new personalities to gain new fans, gain new viewers, sell merch, all that good stuff. And these teams are just rapid fire making roster changes. Let's talk about a few of them real quick and the debuts of what we have going on this week. Havoc is the first one. Greasy Gang, shout out to you, and shout out to Havoc. He just dropped his first merch line, so go check that out. Buy some of his stuff. He has some sweet hoodies, graphic tees, long sleeves, dad hats, all the good stuff. Now, I love Havoc. I grew up on this kid. I loved watching him stream wagers, S&D stuff back in Black Ops 3 when he was a stud jetpacker. He's one of my favorite players in the league, just as a fanboy. As an analyst, we're going to switch it up and break down the gameplay, though. So I love Havoc, and I love the initial move from Florida. I know a lot of you guys are ragging on it and say, oh my God, terrible idea. And you could say that and have that backed by the performance that we saw in the first matchup from Florida. You have to give it a little bit of time. Think about how hard it was for Havoc. He started the season thinking he was going to be the guy. Then Neptune comes in after Havoc was scrimming with them for a while at the beginning of Cold War. Then he's like, okay, I'm a bench player now. And then he sucked it up, played challengers, put his head down, grinded, and then now Slacked has been replaced for Havoc. So it's just a cycle of the SMGs on the Florida Mutineers. I think Havoc is a good addition, and despite him underperforming, in my opinion, in the first match, you have to give it time. You have to let him get settled back in with Awakening, Skies, and now Neptune, because he was scrimming with Slacked, you have to remember. So maybe those guys gelled a little bit better together, and now his sub-duo, they have to figure some things out. Give it some time. Let's talk about the performance from Havoc in the first matchup that we had. As we talk about the beginning of Stage 3, we've had 4 great matches so far. Been a lot of excitement, a lot of good stuff going on, but the Florida Mutineers, they were swept 3-0 to the defending Stage 2 major champion, Toronto Ultra. I know the stats that are there, they're not going to impress you too much. You talk about the hard point. It was on Checkmate. Havoc dropped a .78. Then the Search and Destroy is really where he underperformed to his expectations, because a lot of people know him from playing those one-and-done wagers, the 3v3s, the 1v1s, all that good stuff back in the day, and he was an S&D kid. He was an S&D god. That's where he got his claim to fame. Just a .36 in that Express S&D, and then a 0.71 in the control. Like I mentioned, though, you can't take those stats for how they are. Take them with a grain of salt, because I think you need to give Havoc a little bit more time to get loosened up, get warmed up, step into this role with these new guys that he's just started practicing with and just got his first taste of the league in. I'm going to talk about it a little more in the future. He's a stud on LAN. You can ask Nameless. You can ask Nagafin. You can ask Mox. All these guys who have teamed with Havoc. When we get back to LAN, watch out for the kid. He better still be on the roster because I know he has a lot to prove. He feels himself that he has a lot to prove, and I think he will when he finds his stride on LAN. He's a stud on LAN. He's an incredible player. He's a different breed there. Look for him to improve the stats and give him time with these guys. I'm not worried about the roster change with Havoc. I think it's a good move. I want to see him improve, pick it up better. We'll break down Florida's match a little bit later that they have going on in this first week of Stage 3. But I'm not worried about him. Really, I'm not worried about any of the 3 roster changes that we're talking about. The next one to hop up is Zaptius. So he got his first shot against Optic today, and that's a big stage to step on. Because even though you're not at LAN, and let me tell you, not being on LAN against Optic fans is a blessing in disguise. Because they're commenting in the YouTube chat, but on LAN, they ride hard, those Optic fans. They are ride or die, and they will come at your throat if you're playing against them. So Zaptius lucky he didn't have to deal with that on LAN for now. And you look at his performance, I thought he stepped up well. He looked really good in the control that they won on Checkmate. That's something I want to highlight. He kind of took over for a little bit of time there, and he is stepping into a role, same thing with Havoc. Give it some time with this team, but I think he is one of the brightest minds and best talents from the challenger scene, and I think it's a good move to bring him onto this team. So Zaptius is one that I look at for the future to pop off with the London Royal Ravens. And I know that this is their home series. They didn't have the result that they wanted today. They got 3-1 by Optic. But you go further on to it, they still have a match against the Thieves, and the Thieves are dangerous, man. That roster change with Draza, switching roles with Kenny, it's been big for them. But I think Zaptius has a lot to prove. He brings a lot of speed on the map in the role he plays, and he makes a lot of those crucial role and objective plays that a team would like to see. It's been so hard for London all year long because they've been trying to find their stride week after week after week, and you never know who's going to be in there on the roster for them. So give it a little more time, let him step into the role, and I think Zaptius will be all right. The final one to talk about, and I'm excited because this is my boy. I love watching him play. I love the personality is. He's been around the scene for forever. The LA Gorillas, they decided they're underperforming. They wanted to bring back another boots on the ground king, so they bench Vivid and bring up the boy MJ Cheen. He's a stud. We see him primarily with an AR in his hand, and I think that's a role that he can slide into and succeed in the Call of Duty League. We haven't seen him play yet, and the matchup that we look forward to with Chino is a good one to hop into. They're playing the Paris Legion, who are also making a roster change with Temp. And I mean, it's good because the Paris Legion, I think they're a sneaky good team, but also the LA Gorillas fall into that same category in my opinion. And I think if there's any matchup that you have looking at the teams participating this weekend, that's the one you want for your first one and your icebreaker in the league. I think the knowledge that Chino brings to a team, his slaying prowess, and the way he can kind of under and behind the lines command a team is special. When you watch the academy and scrims, he'll be quiet, he'll make his call outs, but then when they're talking about stuff and breaking it down, he'll be the first one to talk. And he'll say, yo, guys, when this happened here, here, and here, we should have made this adjustment, and it's something that kind of cost us in that map. I think we can make that change the next time, and it'll be a difference maker and allow us to win the map, slay in certain opportunities, win a certain rotation that we ended up losing, and it'll put us in a good spot. Let's do this. So he's encouraging. He's not hard on the guys, and he's so intelligent, and his IQ is incredible. I think that he brings a lot of intangibles to the LA Gorillas, and it's a big roster change and one that I like and one I'm excited to see. I don't know if we're going to stop there for the rest of the season. I really don't know if we're going to have more roster changes. I think we probably will. Like I said, these guys are interchangeable. It's like a new iPhone coming out every single year. It's like, yeah, this one's good, but it's kind of slowing down. Let's try this guy. I want the best and the greatest. I want the fastest, the most power, and the one that everyone looks at and they'll go, ooh, is that the new iPhone? Ooh, is that the Havoc? Is that the Chino? Is that the Paul X? Is that the Zapdius? Man, I want that. So I think we're going to see plenty more roster changes throughout the season in the Call of Duty League, so stay tuned with it. Next up, I'm sorry. I apologize that I'm late to the party, as the Stage 3 has already kicked off and been underway in the Call of Duty League. I'm going to be really transparent with you, and you guys know I don't like making excuses, but it's been tough for me lately. I've been working overtime at the golf course every single week for like 2 months. We've had tournament after tournament. I've been getting grinded out there, and then high school sports are still in full swing. So when I'm not working, even if I have an opening shift at work or on my off days, I go straight from there and call play-by-play for high school, baseball, volleyball, whatever is in season right now. It's got me burnt out a little bit. My mental health has been tested, but then I have to remember what my passion is. It's Call of Duty, and that brings me here to the seat I'm in today. It makes me emotional, guys, because chasing a dream, wanting to be a caster, analyst on the desk in the Call of Duty League, the odds aren't great. The odds aren't in the favor. But I continue to grind and put this out even when I'm at my lowest low and not feeling motivated to do stuff, because this is what I'm most passionate about. I got to make a living. I got to work and do stuff that I may not necessarily want to. But at the end of the day, I find myself in this seat in front of you because I care about it. I care about Call of Duty. And it can sound crazy to so many people, but I love the sport. I love the game. I love the personalities in it. And I love to talk about it. And I bring my passion here. And I love the Call of Duty League. And that's why I'm here today. So I'm sorry for not getting an episode out before Stage 3 started, but we're here now. So let's discuss the Stage 3 groups. We'll bring them up on the screen right now, and we're going to break them down, and I'm going to tell you what I think, and then we're also going to hop into predictions, okay? I hope you guys can enjoy that, and I hope we can break it down together. These groups are nasty. All season long, the Call of Duty League is just disgusting. So we take a look at Group A here. The defending champion Toronto Ultra, disgusting, 3-0 in their first matchup of Stage 3. Picking up right where they left off, not skipping a beat, the all-European roster, you nasty, nasty fellas. And then the Dallas Empire, who have won their first match in Stage 3, which is huge, and then made the roster change with Huke. I still have them at the top of the pedestal, and we're going to do something different. We're going to rank all these teams in each group and see what you guys think. The Minnesota Rocker, they've been gross with Standy. The kid can fry. I love attach. I love accuracy. And I think those three guys make a really big difference. And then Priesta kind of in the flex role. Like, that's where he shines. They're gross. They make big plays. Then you have the three roster changes. Florida Mutineers picking up Havoc. The Paris Legion bringing over Temp. And LA Gorillas just signing Cheen. Those three are all question marks at this stage because, in my opinion, you all made a roster change. There's all room for improvement and crazy things that can happen. Ranking these teams right now, the 6 that are in Group A, and then we're going to talk about which group I think is stronger, solely because they have won the Stage 2 Major and they look hot with a big 3-0 over another team in their group in the Florida Mutineers. The Toronto Ultra take the 1 spot in Group A. I'm not doing this in order as you see the tags there because I think the Minnesota Rocker, especially with the roster change and the unknown with the Dallas Empire, I think the Rocker hop up in front of them. So the Minnesota Rocker, they also had a better finish in the Stage 2 Major as the Empire for the first ones to get kicked out by the Toronto Ultra. The Rocker are the 2 seed in Group A in my opinion. Then the 3 seed, I think Fellow will still perform. He'll probably, out of all the substitutes in that group, ooh, wow, this is tough. I would probably rate them Fellow, Havoc, Cheen, 10. Oh my God, that's so hard. For what they can do for a team and where teams stand right now, it might honestly be fellow temp Havoc Cheen. But that's subject to change. It really is. But I think he can make a pretty big difference on the map for the Dallas Empire regardless. The personality of him and Crim 6, I think it will work well together, and he'll be able to also help out the young guys, Illy and Shotzi. That puts the Dallas Empire at number 3 in Group A for me. At number 4, I like the Paris Legion. I really like Matty Marshall, man. I like him, and I like what Temp can bring to the roster. I think that that's pretty special. Next up, I have the Florida Mutineers, and then rounding it out, I have the LA Guerrillas. I think those bottom 3 teams are all interchangeable, though. I really do think the top 3 that I just stated, though, will stay where they are. Because the Dallas Empire got a head start with winning their first match of this stage, so the points are going to be there already to start. Following that, I think the Rocker and Ultra are just too good, so it's going to be a battle for 4th. I really don't know if any of those other 3 teams will find a spot in the winner's bracket. I think it comes down to who gets a bye in the loser's bracket between the Mutineers, Legion, and LA Guerrillas. If I had to put a name on it, I know I just ranked Paris 4th, but I think after things happen, the Mutineers will get the bye in the loser's bracket. Let's talk Group B now. This is disgusting. I think this is the group of death. This group is a lot stronger because in Group A, in my opinion, you have 2 separate tiers. Like I just said, the 3 who I think are automatically going to make it, and then the 3 who are not. Atlanta FaZe, Optic Chicago, LA Thieves are gross with the new roster change. The Subliners, I'm still waiting to see how Hydra performs. The Seattle Surge, they're on the up and coming. They went 5 today in a big match against the LA Thieves. And then following them, you have the Royal Ravens, who just made another big roster change with Zaptius. I think all 6 of these teams are vulnerable, if I'm being honest. We finally saw FaZe lose last stage, and they dropped to both Toronto. And then on top of that, they fall into the LA Guerrillas. That could have been a fluke thing earlier in the regular season of Stage 2, if you will. But I still think, and this is not taking into consideration, all of these predictions are the current state right now where we're still online. I think if we get to LAN, things can change. So the current state of how teams are performing and where we are right now, I have Atlanta FaZe 1, Optic Chicago 2. If we go LAN, I change that around. I think Optic Chicago will be 1 on LAN. Atlanta FaZe will be 2. I just think that they both have a chip on their shoulder with how they've lost, and they want to perform. The 3 spot, this is tight. Just because I don't know how Hydra is performing yet, I think the LA Thieves sit in the 3 spot in my rankings of this group. Then I'll take the Seattle Surge, then I'll take the Subliners, then I'll take the Royal Ravens. I don't want to doubt the Subliners, but they underperformed in the Stage 3 Major, and I know they made the roster change with Hydra, but I'm waiting for it to be proven. The Seattle Surge, they can hang. There's a couple of little things that they have to clean up, and then they win matches, and they win big matches, pivotal matches against big teams. So that's how I'm shaking it down right now for Group B. I have the Atlanta FaZe if we stay online, then Optic Chicago, LA Thieves, Seattle Surge, Subliners, and Royal Ravens. It's hot and heavy, these groups, folks. I'm excited for Stage 3. I'm excited for what it brings to us and what we'll see. I think we'll see even more roster changes happen, more big plays made, more highlights, the rookies coming to shine, and I'm excited for everything that it has to offer. I believe Group B is the group of death because anybody can find those 3 spots. I think FaZe and Optic will get a winner's bracket spot in the Stage 3 Major. But then that 3rd spot, I think the Thieves, Subliners, or Surge could end up taking it. I am really, really excited for it. And now we're going to hop into predictions here on what's going on shortly after we discuss just one more thing. So we have the predictions on the screen, but I'm going to bring myself back here before we talk about it. So we all know LAN was announced, but we have to talk about to what extent? Because the way I see it and the way it shakes down right now, because a lot of you are excited and a little bit too excited, in my opinion, and we're going to break down what the Call of Duty League has said thus far and what their statement is. So they said, in coordination with our teams, we're happy to announce Call of Duty League plans for teams to return to LAN play at select events later this season. More details to come. Woo! If that doesn't give you goosebumps and get the juices flowing, I don't know what does, just to see LAN competition. But I don't want everyone to get too excited. Because I think with everything going on with COVID still, everyone's still having the opportunity to get vaccinated. Once we get there, this could change. But for now, let me break it down to you. The way I see LAN going is just like it was back in the CWL when teams were battling in the same sort of thing as groups to get into playoff spots. What they did, they hopped out to Columbus, Ohio to visit the boy Adam Apicella, the GOAT, the best to ever put on an event. They would visit him in their groups. They would play LAN matches with no fans, just at the studio. The teams would play on LAN, get their matches in, get their seating, have that picked out and the groups put together for the playoffs. I think we'll see something like that again for the Call of Duty League here. I think there's going to be LAN, but I'm not sure if there will be fans just yet. I think these week-to-week bases. What are you doing, Z-Hack? Is that even a word? These events on a week-to-week basis, I think if they're on LAN, it'll probably be in Texas, first of all, unless it's a home series, then things may happen with travel, but I don't think so. I think we're going to find a remote location for every team to come to, and Texas makes the most sense. Then I believe the teams will play their matches there as they shake down in the format, and I believe that they will play them on LAN, no fans, get it done, get their points, get seeded for the major, and then we're on. I think that's how LAN will start for now. Hopefully, by stage 4 or 5, or the major at the very least, we're going to see in-person fans at LAN events. Because I'm going to be the first one to sign up for a media pass, to buy a VIP ticket, and be there. And it's going to be a damn blast the entire time. That's what I think is going to happen with LAN right now. That's how I think things are going to shake down. I'm hopeful that fans will be there eventually, but for now, don't get your hopes up. I think teams will just be competing, but we should still be excited about that because there's no excuses for online. Competitive integrity is at the highest, and we're good to go. The next thing before I hop into my final predictions, we got a new patch coming out. And everyone was scared, myself included. I was like, oh my gosh. We're releasing a patch right before Stage 3 starts, and they're going to play on it after scrimming on this other patch the whole time? No. So I think they said they're going to play this first week on the current meta and patch, and then they're going to switch over to the new one. So there's been rumors and reverts and a bunch of stuff with weapon tuning, with the speed of SMGs being reduced down to like 3%, and ARs are moving faster than SMGs around the map. Hopefully those speed grips and things like that and attachments get reverted. Slide canceling apparently nerfed, and teams are getting hopeful that we're going back to original boots on the ground. It's all rumors right now because stuff has been reverted. We've gone back and forth multiple times, and I don't know what the hell is going to happen, but we'll see when the new patch comes. Let me know what you think, if the new patch is going to be better or worse, if slide cancel nerf is going to be better or worse, if the SMG movement speed is going to cost some stuff between that and ARs, and if we'll see a new gun in the meta. We know they don't like to introduce DLC guns. Could the PPSH play a role? I don't know. But let me know what you think, and without further ado, we're going to hop into my predictions here shortly. I got to get signed in, and I know, like I mentioned, I came to the podcast a little late in week 3, or stage 3 rather, but let me tell you, of course, I made my predictions. And of course, I'm 4 for 4. Like Wendy's, baby. Give me the 4 for 4. Yeah, I'm perfect. So let's see what you guys have got going on with the predictions thus far. So as you can see here, I got the perfect, and I'm going to explain this to you guys, and you're going to be like, oh no, you're full of it. I don't believe you. I had the Dallas Empire 3-1. Perfect over the Legion. You love to see it. The Ultra, I thought this was going to be closer. I did think it was going to be a 3-2. I predicted it. It didn't happen. They 3-0'd, but I still got my 2 points for the win. This one is the one that tilts me. LA Thieves against Seattle. I had it at 3-2. At 11:55 today, I said, I don't know. Switched it to Thieves 3-1. What am I doing? I could have had it perfect. I chalked it. That's my bad. And then, of course, another perfect, just because that's who I am. Mr. Perfect. The predictions are looking good through the first week of Stage 3 here. Had Optic with the 3-1 over the Royal Ravens, and I did predict them to lose the control, and they dropped it on checkmate. I'm pretty proud of myself there. So let's hop into the future and look at the rest of these real quick. The battle of the new roster changes here. You have Temp versus MJ Cheen. I think just the roster with Matt Marshall alone, it just looks better for Paris. I think this goes tight. I think it's 3-2. Paris take the S&D to end it out. I think they take the hard point, the first one. Lose the S&D, lose the control, take the hard point S&D. That's how I see Paris winning it. Next, the Minnesota Rocker over Florida. I think the Rocker are just too strong. It could be another 3-0 against Florida. It could be another 3-0 against Florida. But right now, I just think some of the guys on Florida match up well with the opposition and the roles of Minnesota. So I'll give Florida a hard point here. But 3-1, it goes to the Rocker. Next up, your Game Fuel marquee match. I think Optic, they just look too good today against London. They do have some stuff to clean up, though. Seattle do look good. I may change this to a 3-2, but for now, the gut's telling me 3-1 Optic. I think they take a hard point. S&D hard point is my opinion here. So that's how I feel it going for that one. And then the final day on Sunday, you have the LA Thieves against the London Royal Ravens. I think this is going to be another big one for the Thieves. They took down Seattle today. Now going against the Royal Ravens, I think they take it pretty handedly 3-1. The next matchup we get to see Atlanta FaZe in their first action of Stage 3. I think they'll handle their business, as you would say. You all know I won the Stage 1 major giveaway with Scuff, so I got to represent Atlanta FaZe. I think they take it. They'll pick it up 3-1. I'm just giving New York a map because I don't know what Hydra can do yet. This may be a 3-0, but I have hope in the kid because I've heard great things about him. Looking over at that final one, yeah, that's not staying the same how it is anymore. Just the roster change with Dallas. It's just a new face. I'm sure they're scrimming hard, going at it. But Toronto Ultra have looked great, which will segue us into the next segment. But they've looked incredible. The Stage 2 champs, the meta, and how everything's going in the game in Cold War right now, they look like the best team. And Dallas with the roster change, there's just a lot to happen. I give it a 3-1 to the Toronto Ultra. That's how I think it's going to shake down. Those are my predictions for the first week here in Stage 3. Guys, join my bracket, the rotation with Z-Hack. The password is just rotation. Join it. Let me know how you're doing and pick them. And then we got to hop in to our final segment of the week. And I think you guys can already predict it. It's the fan favorite. You already know where I am about to go. And I need a little help from my good friend, Scumpy. Tell me, buddy, who's the best in the game? This is going to be quick. It's going to be painless because you guys already know who the best in the game is when I'm talking about it. The Stage 2 major champions. Then they come out at the start of Stage 3 with a hot 3-0. The Toronto Ultra are the best in the game, folks. And it's not even damn close right now. They have adversity to face against the Dallas Empire. They're a big staple name and a big team, but I think they proved themselves. I mean, you just look at the all-European squad. They give me flashbacks of Splice in Infinite Warfare. Bance, Insight, Cammy, Kleenex. I mean, come on, son. They're disgusting. No one's messing with the Toronto Ultra right now on this meta. The way Cold War's playing, they just have it figured out. Shout out to them. Shout out to Marky B, those guys over there. The Toronto Ultra are the best in the game. That's going to do it for episode 11 of The Rotation with Z-Hack. Turn it up to 11, folks. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on YouTube at Zach Warhack, Z-A-C-H space W-O-R-H-A-C-K, at ZHack16 on Spotify. Guys, review it, share it with your friends. Find me on TikTok at ZHack16. I post clips there. Find me everywhere. It means a lot. I love you guys, everyone, for tuning in, and we'll, just keep enjoying the rest of Stage 3. We'll be back. We're going to be talking Call of Duty League, and there's wild stuff that's going to continue to happen. I'm sure of it. Thanks so much, everyone, once again, for tuning into the rotation with ZHack. We'll see you next time. Peace.